Now the second data path component is an adder. It adds two n-bit binary number. For example, if we want to add 2-bit, want to make a 2-bit adders, it adds two numbers of 2-bit each, and the output is a 3-bit number. 2-bit is the sum, and 1 is the carry out. So this is the truth table of a 2-bit adder. You can see over here, A0 and A1 are input A, B0 and B1 are input B, S0 and S1 are their sum, and C is the carry out. So we made a truth table. You can see how many entries are there in the truth table. For a 2-bit adder, we need 16 entries. Now we want to compare the size of the truth table for an n-bit adder. 2-bit adder has 2 raised by 2 plus 2, 16 rows. 8-bit adder has 2 raised by 8 plus 8, 2 raised by 16 rows, and so and so. So you can see the size of the truth table increases. Alternate to that method, instead of making a truth table, what we do is we add 1 bit at a time of each of the number and accumulate its result and carry forward the carry out to the next bit. So we add 1 bit at a time. So we use half adders and full adders in the manner you can see over here. The first two bits, 1 bit of A and B are added by a half adder because we don't have a carry in. Then we have full adders because the carry out of the first level goes to as a carry in to the second level. Okay, you can see a half adder over here. A half adder is an adder that adds 2 bits, 1 bit A and 1 bit B, and gives output as a sum and carry out. So you can derive you can make a truth table for this and then derive the equations for sum and carry. The sum is XOR of A and B, and carry out as AB. We have already studied half adder in DLD and many other softwares and many other subjects. Similarly, we can design a full adder. Full adder adds 3-bit. This is the truth table of the full adder given over here, and from the truth table we derive the output equations of sum and carry out. So we derive this circuit from these equations. We are very familiar with full adders even before this. To make a 4-bit adder, we cascade half adder and full adder in such a manner that the carry out of one module goes to the carry in of the other module. This is called a ripple carry adder. Why? Because the output of one module ripples to the input of the other, and so this is called a ripple carry adder. Here we can also replace the half adder module with the full adder module with the carry input. This carry input can be 0 if there is no carry. So CI, if you can see in the IC also there is a CI carry input. Why it is used, we will see this later. So we have for 4-bit adder, we have 4 full adders cascaded. So that the carry output of one module goes to the carry input of other. So this becomes a 4-bit triple carry adder. Here you can see the example of two numbers 0111 and 0001. 0111 is an A and 0001 is B. So we give them to the input and see what happens. So if we want to add two 8-bit numbers, A is a 8-bit number and B is a 8-bit number, what we do is we cascade two ICs of a 4-bit adder. When we give the carry out of first IC to the carry in of the second IC, this becomes a 8-bit adder. So you can see an example. We want to make a calculator that add two 8-bit binary numbers with the help of dip switches. We have two inputs in the form of dip switches. Each input A and B is an 8-bit number. So this comes in a dual inline package switches, which can move up and switch up and switch down. So what is we want to add two numbers, so we need a 8-bit adder, ripple carry adder, and for output we need displays. So you can see one input goes from one input A goes into one input of the carry adder, and the other input goes to B0 to B7, and the output is displayed on the LEDs. We can also add an 8-bit register at the output. When we press the button E, so the output will be displayed on the LEDs. Why is this register used? To prevent the values from appearing at the output very quickly. So we replace the output with the with registers. Here we have another example of a weight scale with compensation of amount of 0 to 7. The compensation for inaccurate sensor due to physical wear, we use a 8-bit adder. We have a weight sensor and a dial adjuster. So the dial adjuster can be set to any value by the user, and we can add that weight to the input weight, and the output is displayed on the LEDs. Similarly, adders can be used in incrementers. Incrementers is a circuit that add 1. So what we do is we give a 1 to the carry in, and this carry in this way A is added to 1. Coming on to the comparator, n-bit equality comparator. It outputs 1 if one of the two inputs are equal. 4 bits of A and B can be compared in such a manner: A is equals to B only when A3 is equals to B3, A2 is equals to B2, A1 is equals to B1, and so and so. It means that the corresponding bits of the two numbers are equal, then only then the numbers are equal. For the equality check, we have XNOR gate, which outputs 1 only when the two inputs are equal. So over here we are making a 4-bit equality comparator. A3 is XNORed with B3, A2 is XNORed with B2, and so and so. So if all the inputs are 1, only then the output is 1, which tells that A is equals to B. If you want to compare two numbers, the relationship then between them can be equal, greater, or less than. For the numbers to be equal, the corresponding bits should be equal. For the numbers to greater, the most significant bit, we have to do bit by comparison. First compare A3 with B3. If they are equal, then compare to A2 and B2. If they are equal, and go to the lower bit. The our idea gives us an hand-on example gives us to an idea to design the comparator. For this, we start with the left, compare each bit, pass the result to the right. Each bit pair each bit pair called a stage. At one stage, it can has three output: greater than, equal to, or less than. If both the bits are equal, then the output equal becomes 1. If A3 is 1 and B3 is 0, then greater than becomes 1. If A3 is 0 and B3 is 1, then output less than becomes 1. So we cascade this with different modules bit by bit and compare. Let's come to an example in which we have to compare two number and output the minimum of the two numbers. So for this, we have a magnitude comparator in which we are giving A and B as the input. The input equality is kept as 1, and the output A less than B is given to the multiplexer. Why to the multiplexer? Firstly, the multiplexer inputs are the two inputs A and B. If A is less than B, then this will become 1, so B will be passed. If A is not less than B, this output will become 0, and then A is passed. So the minimum of 2 is passed to the output. So in this way, we have designed a minimum of the two number circuit. The next data path component is the counter and timers. Coming to the counter first, counter is a component that counts up or down in a particular sequence. For example, it counts from 000, 001 and so, then comes to 15 and then rolls back to 0. The counter roll over from 15 to 1. So this our terminal count value is 15. So for this we have a 4-bit register, an incrementer and an AND gate. AND gate checks the value of terminal count when all the 4 inputs become 111, which means we have reached till 15. The terminal count value will become 1 for just one clock cycle. Taking the example of turnstile with the display, we want to count the number of people passing through the turnstile. So what we do is we connect the count input, count signal to the turnstile. The turnstile generates an clock pulse 1 whenever a person passes through it, and the output is incremented by 1. So we have 32-bit counter, the display, a reset button which can reset the counter to 0, and a count pulse. We have an up down counter which can either count up or count down depending upon what is the direction of the counter. So we have a 4-bit register, then we have an incrementer +1, then we have a decrementer -1, which increase the value or decrease the value by 1 depending on the direction. Then we have a 2x1 multiplexer which choose whether the incremented value has to be given to the register or the decremented value depending again on the direction. So if the direction is 1, that means we have to count up, count 1 is connected with the count down and 0 is connected with the count up. If direction is 1, we have to count down. So the 4-bit register value is decremented by 1, and if the direction is 0, then we have to count up. The 4-bit register value is incremented by 1. So you can see the terminal count. We have two circuits for terminal count, and again 2x1 multiplexer which choose the value of terminal count. The AND gate becomes 1 when we reach 1111, that means 15, and the NOR gate becomes 1 when the counter is 0000. Counter with the load. This counter has an additional feature of loading a new value. So if we don't want to start from 0, we can load a desired value into the register by giving load signal 1. So over here, so in this way we can have a counter with the load input.